And we're back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dark Phoenix Gaming, and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins with Ariana Tabris. Last time we left off, we had arrived here in Ostagar and been poking around some. And we
This should be easy enough.
did some stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. And we've been told to go and talk to Alistair, another of the Grey Wardens, when we want to advance the plot. I'm going to do that very soon. However, I've just realized there is a thing I didn't do that we're not going to get another chance at if we pass it up here. At talking to this prisoner.
Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me.
You haven't been sentenced, really?
No. They put someone like me in a cage until someone important has time to decide what to do with me. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you? All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving.
Tell me why you're in there first.
I'm a deserter, or so they think. I bet there's no arguing them out of it, though. Armies are funny that way.
Did you desert?
I wasn't deserting. But when you catch someone sneaking around camp in the middle of the night, what else are you gonna think? Does it matter? All I want is a bit of food and water.
Well, if you weren't deserting, why sneak around the camp?
Oh, I would have deserted eventually. Just not then. I was stealing, not sneaking out of the camp. I got one of those wizards drunk and took his key. It belongs to a chest they got here, full of magical treasures. In fact, I still have it. I can't use it from here, but I'd trade you for some food and water.
They didn't find this key when you were arrested. How'd you manage that?
I swallowed it, but it's come back into my possession since then, so to speak.
Charming. I mean, if you wanted to, there is the option to kill him and take the key, but we aren't that evil, and we aren't a psychopath. I'll see what I can do about getting you some food, though.
Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
That'll be this guy, then.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example.
Cheery fellow, isn't he? It seems a waste for you to guard him all day, though.
I can't just let him go, can I? The army will figure out what to do with him. Probably just waiting for someone important to make a decision. Then they'll hang him, I expect. And I can go and do something else.
Who is he exactly?
They say he was recruited before the war up in Dinnerham. Probably figured he'd never have to fight if he served the king, right?
And why did he want to desert, anyways?
Why does anyone want to desert? Because he thinks he's going to die and he's a bloody coward, that's why. Either that or he's been listening to a bunch of hogwash about how the Darkspawn will drag you off and eat you.
I mean, for all we know, they might. As it happens, I had a little bit of a chat with your deserter friend.
Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation.
He's asked for some food and water, actually.
Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine.
So you miss one meal. This man could be hanged soon. Call it a kindness for the soon-to-be departed.
All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
Fair enough. Now let's get that key off him.
So? Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away.
We still have the option to kill him and take the key. But no. We went to the trouble of persuading the guard. Here's your food.
Much obliged. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you. And, as I mentioned, here's the key. Use it in good health, huh?
Yeah. But I think we're going to take the time to wash the key and our hands before we do anything of the sort. Not that we can actually do anything at this chest right now.
That course of action is inadvisable.
The tranquil standing there will not allow us to actually do anything. But that was the only other thing that I had to do before we move on with the story. By going up here to see Alistair.
What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle?
I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
Charming. These two
You
get
know,
along great, I can
One
tell.
good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together.
You are a very strange human, you know that?
You're not the first to tell me that. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage?
Would that make your day worse?
Hardly. I just like to know my chances of being turned into a toad at any given moment. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit. The elf from Denerim. I should have recognized you right away. I apologize.
And you must be Alistair.
Did Duncan mention me? Nothing bad, I hope. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining.
Pleased to meet you. My name is Ariane.
Right, that was the name. You know, it just occurred to me that there have never been many women in the Grey Wardens. I wonder why that is.
You want more women in the Wardens, do you?
Would that be so terrible? Not that I'm some drooling lecher or anything. Please stop looking at me like that. So I'm curious. Have you ever actually encountered Darkspawn before?
No, I haven't.
When I fought my first one, I wasn't prepared for how monstrous it was. I can't say I'm looking forward to encountering another. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started.
That argument I saw, what was it about?
With the mage. The Circle is here at the King's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are, which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar.
Yes, that would be a bit awkward, would it not?
I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger, and the mage picked right up on that. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech.
I look forward to traveling with you then, Alistair.
You do? Huh. That's a switch. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on.
Well, as it happens, I do have a few.
Yes?
I have some questions for you.
What about?
The joining.
There's not a lot I can tell you. We go and collect Darkspawn blood, and then you'll hear everything.
Surely you can tell me something, though.
Look, I can't tell you much, alright? The joining is very unpleasant. I wish I could forget it, but I can't. I don't envy what you're going to have to go through.
Well, that's not ominous at all. Thanks, I guess?
If becoming a Grey Warden were easy, we wouldn't recruit the best. You want to ask me about something else?
Yeah, pretty obvious he wasn't going to be willing to give us details, so I won't even ask. I would like to know more about the Wardens, though.
So I imagine. What would you like to know?
What makes you all so special?
The Grey Wardens are warriors without equal. Darkspawn threatened to destroy the world 4 times over. Each time, the Grey Wardens led mankind to victory. Nobody knows more about Darkspawn, and nobody's better equipped to deal with them. You'll see. Trust me.
So, what, they're, like, knights? Heroes?
I don't know if I'd go that far. Duncan says the Grey Wardens do whatever is necessary to protect mankind from Darkspawn. That means some pretty extreme things. Whatever it takes to bring victory.
Well, I'm not sure I know anything about the Wardens, really. I mean, sure, I've read the history books and all, but that's just books.
Well, let's see. Surely you've heard of Weishaupt Fortress? The great eyrie carved into the White Cliffs far off in the Anderfels? That's where the Grey Wardens once kept their griffins. The griffins died out, however, and our numbers have dwindled since the last blight. There's only a handful left in Ferelden. A few more in other nations.
So, where are the Wardens now?
The others are camped with the King's soldiers in the valley. The King's given us a position of honor at the vanguard, despite our small numbers. I think Cailan is actually excited to ride into battle with us. Maybe he thinks that's what his father would have done.
So the Wardens have the right to recruit anyone. They could just snap their fingers and have someone be a recruit.
King Marek, Cailan's father, reaffirmed the power the Grey Wardens were given during the Blights. In practice, we can't conscript too often without hurting our cause. We were exiled from Ferelden once. Best not to let that happen again.
Yeah, probably something to be avoided.
You want to ask me about something else?
Okay. The Blight. Like with the Wardens, I know what the Blight is in theory. I've read history books about it, but I was wondering your perspective.
Of course.
Just how many Darkspawn are out there? I didn't exactly get a good look, what with the route Duncan had us taken.
Thousands, tens of thousands. They've had centuries to build up their numbers.
How did anyone even know about this Blight in the first place? I don't imagine the Darkspawn put up a giant sign saying, Blight incoming. Surfacers take heed, or something.
The Grey Wardens keep watch. We feel the Darkspawn when they come. You'll understand after the joining. If you... well, you'll understand. Not to mention, people start to notice when Darkspawn pour out of the wilds and taint everything around them. Just a guess.
True, that would make it rather clear to know. So what is a blight? Where do the Darkspawn all come from? I said they come from underground, but do we know anything more?
You want the Chantry's version or the truth?
I'm guessing they aren't the same thing, then.
They seldom are.
A nice little dig at the Chantry. Always good for Ariane to hear. Come on, and then give me the truth. I've had enough Chantry bullshit to last me a lifetime.
The truth is, we don't really know. They come up from the ground, and that's as far as we've gotten.
Okay. Well, it sounds like there's some actual relevance to the Chantry's version, even if the details might be questionable in their veracity, so I guess I should hear about that.
According to the Chant of Light, the Maker imprisoned the old gods underground long ago, as punishment for tricking mankind into worshipping them. The old gods still whispered to some men and taught them magic. These men became the Magisters of the Tevinter Empire. The Magisters used their gift to enter the Golden City, tainting it and themselves. They were cast out by the Maker and became the first Darkspawn. They fled underground, bringing their taint to their gods. The tainted old gods were the archdemons who rose from their prisons and led the Darkspawn against the world.
So, that was the first blight then, I'm guessing?
Yes, and it nearly wiped us out. When defeated, the Darkspawn flee back underground and seek out another old god to taint, thus bringing another blight.
So, where's the archdemon for this blight?
We haven't seen it yet. People are beginning to think this is just an unusually large Darkspawn raid without an archdemon to unify them. But seriously, the archdemon could be in the wilds or underground. It could be hiding. Just because it hasn't shown itself doesn't mean it isn't out there.
What is an archdemon exactly? I'm still not clear on that.
The old gods were dragons, so the stories say. Big ones. Intelligent, even. The Tevinter Empire had big statues of them. Each dragon had a name and a place in the cosmos. It's all very intricate. The archdemons may not be the old gods, but they're definitely dragons.
Well, apparently we have to kill a dragon at some point, or someone in the Wardens does. That's going to be fun. And based on what the king mentioned when I arrived, it seems to me that some people are quite skeptical about this being a blight. Why is that?
The Grey Wardens killed so many Darkspawn by the end of the last blight. People decided they were gone for good.
Why not just kill all the Darkspawn when they're underground? And if they cause this many problems when they come up to the surface, though.
They've controlled the deep roads ever since they defeated the Dwarven kingdoms. Even if we invaded, we can only chase them so far.
I have other questions.
Of course.
How do the Grey Wardens defeat blights?
We chop off the snake's head. It's the only way. According to texts, the most famous Grey Warden leader, Garahel, killed the archdemon Underal in personal combat at the Battle of Aesley to end the last blight. Without the archdemon to command them, the Darkspawn flee back underground.
Well, that's everything I wanted to know
You want to ask me about something else?
about the Blight. And the Grey Wardens. Why don't you tell me a bit about Duncan?
Duncan is the leader of
I've
the Grey
met him in
Wardens himself,
passing, obviously, but
which he
I
would
don't
say
know too
doesn't
much
mean
about
much,
him.
as there aren't many of us here. Yes, beyond that, he's a good man, a good judge of character. I owe him a lot. What about you? What do you think of him?
Well, I only met him a little bit ago, but he does seem like a good man.
Fair enough. He's done the best he can with what little he has. And that includes me, I guess. You want to ask me about something else?
The battle.
The one tomorrow. I'll tell you. It's Tairn Loghain we should be looking to win it, not the king. Kaelin just wants his place in history. The Tairn is planning the strategy. That's my opinion, anyway. I guess I should be thankful the king favors us Grey Wardens. But I know who's keeping the lid on the pot.
Yeah. If Loghain's the one actually planning the strategy and for the army, then he's definitely going to be more the important one, as it were, compared to someone who is just doing this for honor and glory or whatever, king or no. How much am I going to be participating?
You know, that's a good question. The other Grey Wardens are riding into battle with the king. I don't know if you'll be with them.
Why here of all places?
We're at the edge of the Korcari Wilds, the eye of the Blight Storm, right where the Horde will be coming. Ostagar itself is an excellent defensive position. The Wilders were pushed back from here time and again in ancient days.
What are the chances of us succeeding at this? Are our odds good?
I'm sure Tairn Loghain has the battle planned to the last detail. Still, no Blight has ever been defeated with so little cost.
And I almost hesitate to ask this, but what happens if we fail?
If we don't break the Horde here, Duncan says it will spread until it engulfs all of Ferelden. Then it will take an alliance of nations to fight it, which would be bad. Neither the king nor the Tairn really seems to believe this is a real Blight, however.
Oh, that's not good. The major people involved don't think it's as big a threat as it is. This could be a problem.
You want to ask me about something else?
No.
Then let's get a move on, shall we?
Not about stuff like that, anyways.
Yes?
But why don't you tell me about yourself a bit?
As I said, I was trained as a Templar before Duncan recruited me about 6 months ago. The Chantry raised me. And becoming a Templar was a decision made for me a long time ago. Duncan saw I wasn't happy, and figured my training against mages could double for fighting Darkspawn. Now, here I stand, a proud Grey Warden. The Grand Cleric wouldn't have let me go if Duncan never forced the issue. I'll always be grateful to him.
You didn't want to join the Chantry, I take it?
It just wasn't for me. I believe in the Maker well enough, but I never wanted to devote my life to the Chantry.
You speak fondly of Duncan.
I spent years in that Chantry, hopelessly resigned to my fate. Duncan was the first person who cared what I wanted. He risked a lot of trouble with the Grand Cleric to help me.
Well, I don't have anything else to ask.
Then let's get a move on, shall we?
Yeah. Good while just chatting up Alistair, but as you're going to see as we go through this Let's Play, I really like Alistair. He is, in fact, one of my favorite characters. And that must be from one of my mods, but yeah, he has a Templar shield, as opposed to the heater one, or whatever it is, that he comes with in the vanilla game. Hello, Duncan. We're back.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Korcari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood, 1 for each recruit.
What do we need Darkspawn blood for? That seems like a bit of an odd potion ingredient.
For the joining itself. I'll explain more once you've returned.
Finally, a bit of action. I've been getting bored with the lack of actual fights since I left Denerim.
Without a doubt. Darkspawn aren't renowned for their willingness to offer up their blood.
Putting it lightly.
Grey Warden's archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can.
What kind of scrolls are these?
Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with.
Yeah, probably a good idea, but what if they aren't there anymore?
It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true.
How will we find this archive? I'm not exactly a local.
It will be an
It'd be nice to know what
ruin
to
by
look
now,
for.
but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search.
Okay, that works. Find the archive and 3 vials of blood. I got it.
Watch over your charges.
I have some business of my own in
Return
the
quickly
wilds that
and
happened,
safely.
so
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your
this
path.
is a fortunate
I will
coincidence.
see you when you return.
Fortunate indeed. Now, out we go.
Hail. I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
And out we get.
I'm ready.
I was not trying to talk to you,
Indeed.
Jory. Lovely. We're also looking for that little flower. Or for the dog, and we gotta kill some wolves. A wolf, rather. No, it's not a wolf, it's multiples. Yeah, they really are. getting involved.
Let's get started.
Wolfies. There we go. Wolfies. I'll take the pelts. The lyrium.
On it. Let's get started.
Okay. I'm just gonna take a second. Level up Alistair. Real quick. And you can take combat training. Grey Warden and weapon and shield. There we go. Missionary body. Or Jogby, rather. I'm not gonna stop to read that. Letter details a path through the wild to meet his father. Consult the letter for more information. That is one we want to be looking at. Same. I imagine quest related is what we want. List of landmarks. Dying soldier. Great. This is not gonna go well.
Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by Darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please help me. I've got to return to camp.
Well, let's try to bandage him up at least.
I have bandages in my pack.
Thank you. I've got to get out of here.
Did you hear? An entire patrol of seasoned men killed by Darkspawn.
Calm down, Sir Jory. We'll be fine if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many Darkspawn can the four of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are Darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the Horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward.
And I'm suddenly reminded of why I don't like Jory. I'm sure that overcoming these dangers is a part of our test. We can't just go back unless we don't want to be Grey Wardens.
That's true.
Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense Darkspawn. Whatever their cunning, I guarantee they won't take us by surprise. That's why I'm here.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but we'll be warned about it first.
That is reassuring.
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy, however. So let's get a move on.
Okay. Elf fruit. Yeah, I'm just poking around, seeing what can be found. In any case, there's our flower. Let's grab it. So, doggo, you're going to have your cure. And those are darkspawn.
As you wish.
So let's go for it.
Move and parry, strike and kill!
Yeah. We're still at the stage of things where I don't have to do a whole lot in terms of actual tactical combat. I can just basically press the attack button and that's it. That won't always be the case, but for the moment it is. It's 2 vials of darkspawn blood. But already we're nearly there. Nearly there. Nothing over there that's worth a damn. And ain't this lovely?
Look there. Poor slobs. That just seems so excessive.
Gotta love a bit of good old-fashioned psychological warfare, eh?
On it. Let's get going.
You. We win. Cut off some heads in the process. I'll take the armor, because I can sell it to a merchant for a bit of money, if nothing else. And we did not get any darkstone blood out of that.
On it.
Money, on the other hand, yes we did.
As you wish.
Money, money, yet more money, and a darkspawn assassin of sorts. Several of them, in fact.
A little frantic. I can see why.
Careful. I'm sensing darkspawn nearby. Let's be on your guard.
We must be victorious!
This should be
Okay. Darkspawn nearby indeed. In fact, those ones. We're actually trying to be sneaky. We got all the blood we need. And that would be the missionary's dad, I presume. Last will and testament. Or maybe not. Small shield.
do you know? More darkspawn about. Prepare for random violence.
Random violence is one way to describe it. This is perfectly true. Yeah, see, this is why we keep you around, Alistair. You can warn us about this crap.
Okay.
Ahead of time. And I very much appreciate being warned about it. I very much appreciate it. There appears to be something going on here.
My Grey Warden sent.
And Turlock Emissary, so Darkspawn magic. Come on. I triggered some traps. Darkspawn mages are the most annoying bit. Fury is not doing great here. He almost died, but we made it through that particular skirmish, so all's well that ends well, right?
More darkspawn. Close by. You know the drill.
That we do. And that's another Genlock Rogue. Genlock Rogue. I don't know if there's a correct pronunciation. Not really.
Just me, or do you actually think you have a chance?
Yeah.
Let's get started.
Loot you lot for potions and money. Because of course they're intelligent enough to strip the corpses of the people they kill for valuables. Why not? Come on then. Probably more darkspawn. Yeah. As I thought. Darkspawn.
A little frantic, huh? I can see why. On your guard!
You with some of that.
For the fun!
You've got that one. I'll help Alistair with the alpha. Now we can just gang up on it. Enjoy being able to dominate everything just by swinging our weapons normally while it lasts. Because, believe me, it will not last long. It will not last long.
Right.
Enchanted Grey Iron Dagger. Let's see, my dagger is damage of 4. compared to my... It's not a massive upgrade, it's less than 1 point of additional damage, but I'm going with it. And this right here is the outpost we were meant to look for. However, we've still got a couple of side quests in the region we're trying to work toward. Just completing. Among other things.
Let's get started.
Pile of stones covered in dust and ash. Not sure what that is, but it's up here. Yeah. Right now we're looking for some stuff. Dead soldier. Pouch of ashes and excerpt from some myths and legends. Those ashes. Something to do with this pile of stones, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, let's just sprinkle the ashes here. See what happens. I have no idea why, but yeah. Who summons Gazarath from slumber?
This should be easy enough. Show me what you got! Stay still!
Apparently we went and summoned a monster.
You actually think you have a chance?
This is fun.
We're dying
This is fun. That takes care of that. The pile of rags. I have no idea what that was about, but so we summoned a demon by sprinkling some dust on a pile of rocks. I have no idea why that would cause a demon to be summoned. For now, we have some landmarks that we need to find for this last will and testament thing. Okay. Cross the river using just an attack command, and there's lots of wolves here.
Desperation is an ugly perfume.
One's fighting, so it's just wolves, so that's enough. There. There's a chest. Chastened flat blade, a helmet, and a letter. Farewell letter to Jockby. I'll read that later. Now, there's a cache mentioned in Rigby's will that we gotta find. And then we can carry on with the main story. We haven't explored in this direction yet, so
More Darkspawn, close by.
I'm gonna go this way since, by that logic, it's the most likely to have what we're looking for. And Darkspawn trying to sneaky stab us. That's my job. I hold the copyright for sneaky stab. I'm gonna have to speak to the lawyers about this.
Right.
Or we would if the Darkspawn didn't like killing lawyers so much. To be fair, we are talking about lawyers, so it's not overly surprising. Okay. That one down. Get you. As I mentioned before, we're in the easy stage where I can just hit the attack button. The occasional power, occasional ability, and that'll be enough. It's gonna get harder, trust me. We're still being introduced to all the mechanics and how the game works and everything, so it's easy by design at this stage. Trust me, it ain't gonna stay like that. It really ain't. Yeah, there are more baddies this way. Multiple of them, in fact. Dirty fighting. I abuse dirty fighting like nobody's business. I don't know how effective it actually is, but I just like that ability, because I tend to play a lot of games where you can't stun your opponents, so being able to stun them, I take full advantage of it. If only I could loot the multiple enemies sitting around here all at once.
As you wish.
I mean, I probably could get a mod for that, but I don't want to. Rigby's Field Journal. Signed of the Chastened. Last Will and Testament. Hidden Cache. Iron lockbox sealed with wax. We could take it to bring to whoever Jedha is, or open the box. Now, I'm not a dick, and it would seem to be especially disrespectful to just open the box and keep the stuff when this dude intended it for a specific person, so we'll take it to bring. Still the box in our pack. There we go. And now we can head back to that Grey Warden outpost, which we found before. And advance the story. we go. Yeah, a little bit of backtracking this episode. I hope you'll forgive that. And I'm deliberately not leveling up Jory or Davith. Those of you who are familiar with certain plot beats in this game will be aware as to why, but I'm not going to say anything more on the subject. And we're basically done in the wild, so I'll level up Ariane and Alistair. Sorry about that, I accidentally clicked outside of the window for a second. The game window, I mean. As I was saying, I'll level up Ariane and Alistair once we've done the joining. And there is nothing. Wonderful.
Well, well. What have we here? Are you a vulture, I wonder? A scavenger, poking amidst a corpse whose bones were long since cleaned? Or merely an intruder, come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey? What say you, Scavenger or intruder?
I am neither. The Grey Wardens once owned this tower, and as I am a Grey Warden, I cannot intrude on my own order's property.
'Tis a tower no longer. The wilds have obviously claimed this desiccated corpse. I have watched your progress for some time. Where do they go, I wondered? Why are they here? And now you disturb ashes none have touched for so long. Why is that?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
Oh, you fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is...
Oh, he said it. He said the line.
She is. She'll turn us into toads.
Witch of the Wilds. Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? You there. Women do not frighten like little boys. Tell me your name and I shall tell you mine.
You can call me Ariane.
And you may call me Morrigan, if you wish. Shall I guess your purpose? You sought something in that chest? Something that is here no longer?
Here no longer? You stole them, didn't you? You're some kind of sneaky witch thief.
How very eloquent. How does one steal from dead men?
Quite easily, it seems. Those documents are Grey Warden property, and I suggest you return them.
I will not, for 'twas not I who removed them. Invoke a name that means nothing here any longer if you wish. I am not threatened.
Then who removed them if it wasn't you?
'Twas my mother, in fact.
Can you take us to her?
There is a sensible request. I like you.
I'd be careful. First it's, I like you, but then zap. Frog time.
She'll put us all in the pot, she will. Just you watch.
If the pot's warmer than this forest, it'd be a nice change.
Follow me then, if it pleases you. Greetings, Mother. I bring before you 4 Grey Wardens who...
I see them, girl. Much as I expected.
Are we supposed to believe you were expecting us?
You are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Shut one's eyes tight or open one's arms wide. Either way, one's a fool.
She's a witch, I tell you. We shouldn't be talking to her.
Quiet, Davith. If she's really a witch, do you want to make her mad?
There is a smart lad. Sadly irrelevant to the larger scheme of things, but it is not I who decides. Believe what you will. And what of you? Does your elven mind give you a different viewpoint? What do you believe?
Well, believed or not, some things must be accepted.
Ha! There lies the answer I hope to get. An open mind, yet not made of mush. Am I simply complimenting you? Wait and see. So much about you is uncertain, and yet I believe. Do I? Why, it seems I do.
So this is a dreaded Witch of the Wilds.
Witch of the Wilds, huh? Morrigan must have told you that. She fancies such tales, though she would never admit it. Oh, how she dances under the moon.
They did not come to listen to your wild tales, Mother.
True. They came for their treaties, yes? And before you begin barking, your precious seal wore off long ago. I have protected these.
You... Oh, you protected them?
And why not? Take them to your Grey Wardens and tell them this Blight's threat is greater than they realize.
What do you mean the threat is greater than they realize? That could mean
Either
anything,
the threat
really.
Is more, or they realize less. Or perhaps the threat is nothing. Or perhaps they realize nothing. Oh, do not mind me. You have what you came for.
Time for you to go, then.
Do not be ridiculous, girl. These are your guests.
Oh, very well. I will show you out of the woods.
I mean,
Follow
we got
me.
here on our own, we'd probably have been fine. Now, some of you will probably have taken note of the fact that Flemeth looks a good bit different. Compared to how she usually is in vanilla. That's because one of the mods I have actually, well, several of the mods in fact, modify the character. And we need to visit Mr. Houndman. They modify the character designs of certain NPCs that appear in Dragon Age 2 so that their Dragon Age Origins appearance is more consistent with Dragon Age 2. As if you've played this and then you've played Dragon Age 2, you'll notice that in vanilla, DAO Flemeth looks nothing like her appearance in 2. One of the mods I've got corrects that. And I have some similar ones for a few other NPCs that I'll note as we run across them. But that's what's up with that, if you were wondering. Anyways, Kennelmaster, I have your flower.
The Mabari's stable for now, but not improving. Unless I get that herb I told you about, there's not much hope.
Is this what you're after?
Let me see. Yeah, that's exactly it. Wonderful. Give me a moment and I'll make this into an ointment. He looks better already. I'm sure he'd thank you himself if he could.
How long before there's an improvement?
A day, maybe 2. There's enough ointment for him to make a full recovery. Why not come back after the battle? Perhaps we can see about imprinting him on you.
You think that's possible?
Maybe. It's likely he understands you're responsible for curing it. Mabari are at least as smart as your average tax.
He's not gonna try to collect my taxes while I'm out here Grey Wardening, is he? I love that line, though. That always gives me a few chuckles. Oh, they're at least as smart as your average tax collector. I'm not sure if that's an insult of Mabari. Not sure if that's him insulting Mabari or praising tax collectors, to be honest. I can't tell. Anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here for this episode. We're at over an hour in terms of episode length, and this really does feel like a pretty good stopping point. So, this has been Dark Phoenix Gaming, and you've been watching Dragon Age Origins. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more Grey Wardening with Ariane Tabris and crew. See you next time, folks.